Hey everybody, welcome back. This is the Osiris Live Couch Report at Setbreak. Hope everybody's feeling good out there. We're feeling good.
Welcome back, everybody.
Yes, welcome back.
First I just want to say again thanks to Relix and to our producer Jonathan Healey for doing it up for us. Keep tweeting to us at CouchReport or with the hashtag CouchReport at OsirisPod. Tell us what you think, give us feedback, give us thoughts, and also continue to send us pictures of your awesome couch tour setups.
We got a lot of pictures very late. We got
Pictures.
the people that sent early. We might be able to put a couple up right now, but we got a whole lot more. So we're gonna have to put them on Instagram or show them next time.
Yeah, there's a lot of them, and we'll continue to get more. And like Tom said earlier, maybe we'll do a contest or something as we move forward. We just want to say thanks to two people who have helped out a lot with Osiris, Mark Dowd and Felicia. Everyone knows Felicia. We really appreciate everyone's help in helping get Osiris off the ground and to where we are today. So thank you guys. Let's show some pics from the Couch Report. The first one is from Alexa and Steve, who I think last night had a rooftop situation. Now they have a different situation, no rooftop, but they sent it in. Thank you for sharing that. The second one is from our friend Jen Bernstein, who's with Seth and Melissa and some other folks in New York. It seems like they're having an awesome party.
Hey, Jen.
Thank you for sending that in. Number 3 is Mike Hammond, who is the creator of Phish Maps and all-around musicologist, music journalist, music everything, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Nice picture, Mike, with the guitar.
Yeah, it's really cool. Thanks for sending that in.
So you watched the whole Phish stream with, behind that guitar like that?
Yeah.
That's cool.
The next one we're going to go to is our friend Patrick, who had a really beautiful picture of some kind of really delicious beer. And
it looks unfiltered, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And it had a cool name, but I can't read it from here.
And thank you, Patrick, for sending that in, and please bring me some of that beer. The next one we're going to see is from Ben Erickson, who sent us a pretty cool picture of his couch tour setup, I think with some art in the background and some other stuff. And
there it is.
We will show it. There it is. Some cool art in the background. And then the last one we wanted to show is actually from last night, but looked like some sort of awesome.
We didn't just want to show this one. We wanted to go.
Yeah, we want to go there.
Tell us where you guys are.
This is Nashville somewhere, right?
Nashville somewhere from last night.
It's coming up.
And I think is
Is that it?
Yeah, that's it. And the Twitter handle is Boba Fetty Wap or something.
John Fetty.
Bob.
Oh, Bob Fetty.
Yeah.
Hey, Bob.
Anyway.
John Fetty. We're coming to your party.
We're coming to your party. Thanks. It looks really cool, and looks like there's lots of room for people. So
yeah,
it's like an awesome party.
Yep.
So keep sending us pictures, and we'll keep sharing them. We appreciate seeing where people are. You know where we are. We're here.
We're here in Washington, D.C. on a couch.
As always, doing Couch Report. As always for the first time, but we hope to do it a lot more. So guys, before we get into the set list, Tom, there's been some late breaking news from people who have been texting you about something. Can you fill people in?
Oh yeah, I had my nose buried in my phone following a debate happening right now. My friend Scott asked me to talk about it. People have detected a change in Trey's tone. The word grungy is being used in a complimentary way by 50% of the people and in a disparaging way from the others. And turns out I'm not the right person to ask, but I do know someone who is.
Hey.
Matt.
I was following this as well because I hear a definite change in his tone between Tahoe and the Gorge. And according to Ryan of TreysGuitarRig.com, he was sharing earlier that apparently there was a change of not only the guitar, which a lot of people saw, which is that Trey's been playing the Koa 1 guitar at the Gorge as opposed to the Koa 2 in Tahoe. Apparently there's new tubes in the Comet amps that Trey plays, and so that's
what
changed.
Are tubes?
So the tube is like the power
that
makes it all juicy and it lights up, and there's explosions where rock and roll happens, then it spits it out of the speakers.
That's a good way to
and there's tubes that have more of like a British sound, like Marshalls, and then there's tubes that have more of an American sound, which would be like a Fender kind of sound. and he's switched all of his amps to the more Fender-y kind of sound. Apparently, is what I was reading, which is kind of what he used to use a lot. He's used Fender amps a lot, including the late '90s. So that would explain the change, but I can understand why some people would not like that. Some people like the other sound more. So you guys should all tell us, tweet at us, send us messages on Facebook or whatever. We can start the debate up. Are you pro or con Trey tone change? And will we see a change when he gets to the next city?
Matt, there was a guitar too. Change.
Yeah. So that's I think it was
that's right.
the going back to the Koa 1 guitar, which is of course the famous guitar from the late '90s that he played during that
96 onwards, right?
I think so, yeah.
And then so Koa 2 he opened Tahoe with, but now he's back.
Right.
Okay.
To the old reliable.
Old faithful.
Are they very different guitars, like from what you guys know? Do you know? I mean, they're obviously both made by Languedoc, and they're like, to me, they both look the same, but I assume some of the inner workings are probably different.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I could only guess. I mean, Tom, I don't know if you've ever heard anything about it.
I did. I heard from Trey himself, but the fact that they're both made out of Koa is kind of the limit of my knowledge, unfortunately. Okay. And one was, made later in an attempt by Paul to improve on what cannot be improved upon, it turns out. So, for a long time, that was the one that Trey would bring along to songwriting sessions, Koa 2, and he would play Koa 1 live.
Wow. So, yeah, but as Matt said, people should tweet at OsirisPod. Use the hashtag CouchReport. Tell us what you think about Trey's tone. It's an important debate in today's Phish world. It's the world we live in. So let's run through the set list. So opener, Party Time. It was a good party. And then second, Punch in the Eye, which was Tom's guess to open, which is pretty close. I mean, second,
Right. Do I get points?
There's no second place.
No runner-up?
Yeah, I forget what the saying is. But no, you don't. But good call.
There's no me and team. Wait, there is me and team.
So then, anything about the Punch You in the Eye, or should we go to the mics?
No, just it should have been first.
Should have been first. Yeah. The mics was Hey Scotty B from Jambase pointed out that it was 7 out of the last 9 have been played in the first set.
Oh wow!
Which I thought was interesting.
Yeah. I want to say one thing about mics.
Yes.
If you listen carefully, Trey's Leslie was in play big time during that mics.
Definitely. That was a good example of it.
Yeah, it was I don't know how long it was, but it seemed like they didn't go like super far beyond, but it was a pretty good jam. But he got to the Leslie pretty quickly, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yep.
And he was using it for lead this time. We were talking a lot about the textures and stuff. He was actually playing lead guitar through it with like an organ. It sounded really neat.
Yep.
Almost like if Page took the solo in mics.
Yeah, so then into Hydrogen, which made Jonathan happy, and then into Weekapog, which I think was good groove, good Mike's groove, solid standard Mike's groove, and then Mike came out with a new song, Infinite, which I had not heard before.
Right.
It was cool. It's always good to hear new Mike songs.
It's pretty cool. I like when there's multiple singing parts with different band members. They seem to have pulled it off pretty well. At one point, it sort of did go into an instrumental part, and the camera focused on Mike, and he looked like he was smiling, like, "Hey, wow, this might turn into a jam vehicle." And then immediately, the vocals came back. I was kind of disappointed, along with Mike, I think.
And next came It's Ice, which we had a long conversation about during the song while we were watching. Debuted in February of '93, and so Tom. Well, first of all, it almost always now goes into like a pretty cool, funky jam.
Yeah.
And that jam had Page on the clav, and on some other stuff too, I think.
Yeah, I thought that was the best part of the set. It was almost like they went back into a Mike song jam. It had a little bit of that groove.
That's what you were saying about Mike's.
Yeah. Baseline from Mike was really similar. So that was kind of neat. I actually have It's Ice as my highlight of the set.
Cool. It did. It had sort of a ding, 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 ding kind of feel.
Yep. The stranglehold thing.
Yep.
So, Tom, tell us a little bit about the song.
Okay.
It's Ice, just in terms of, let's, I guess, first talk about how it came together, and then
Sure.
I have follow-up questions, too.
Okay, really? Questions? Follow-up questions? That was, of course, Rift, and that was in the era, 93 and 92, I guess, when Trey and I wrote almost exclusively by my getting lyrics to him somehow, whether it's mail, handing it to his dad, Faxing was a thing occasionally, but I would just write a bunch of stuff and somehow get it to Trey, and then not hear for a while, and then he would go into a writing spurt, and then we would have incessant phone calls back and forth. I think I'd said before in one of my podcasts, I was incredibly impressed that he kind of pulled all this material out of what I had given him and turned it into a working concept album. And the songs just were amazing and surprising, and the fact that he was able to kind of string it together into the beautiful Rift album was just a feat of sheer genius.
And you mentioned that like what the songs turned into. Was that a song that turned into what you imagined it would? Like when you...
Oh my God, it's surprising. I mean, imagine giving someone a poem and they come up with that. That's yeah. So yeah, it way surpassed, and it's very surprising. The part, it's like a guy who's like in a constant battle with himself. Anytime he walks past a mirror, basically, he's in a fight with himself. Except in this case, the mirror is the ice. So when I heard the song rendered by Trey and Phish, there's a part where you can tell everyone's sliding into the water, and then there's a part where it's clear. There's a battle going on. Then there's another part where it's clear they're underwater, and the lighting changes. And I mean, it's just spectacular what visually and aurally happened to that song.
It's interesting. That's like maybe one of the most like intensive interpretations of your lyrics, right? In terms of the lights and the performance.
Yeah, I mean, the lights are a big part of that. I agree. Yeah, really for cool. Sure. Yep. So it's like, giving someone a poem and having them come up with like that once in your life would be life-changing.
Yeah.
And like that's happened with me so many times, and I know how lucky I am.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And then, so they played Divided Sky just as it was starting to get dark at the Gorge.
That was beautiful.
We were having debates over whether it would close the set, and it has before, and it's closed first and second sets, right? But
yeah, and the show.
And the show.
Yeah, a bunch of times, but they fit Cavern in at the end.
And Tom, you were saying during Cavern that you always hear the horns when you hear the song. Which is like
the direct. Yeah, absolutely.
And I think you've talked before on the podcast about how that song came together. That was like one of the back and forth, right? With you and Scott?
Yep. Episode 033 of Under the Scales. It's called Scott Herman, and it talks a lot about how Scott Herman, who has 18 Phish song credits to his name and about the same number of Tab song credits and a lot of Amphibian song credits, he's my lyricist.
Yeah.
But yeah, we wrote that when we were supposed to be programming computers at AT&T together.
Sorry, AT&T. But we got a bunch of cool songs. So guys, we need to get people back to the stream here in a few. Any predictions for set 2?
Reba.
Well,
I think there's a Reba coming.
I feel like I have to double down on Tweezer. I mean, it didn't happen in the first set. I don't know. I get my Tweezer senses are itching. So
yeah.
I feel like it's coming.
I'm going with Matt. I'm going with the Tweezer.
Who's been right here so far?
Yeah, it's true. Very true. So guys, guys and gals, thank you so much for tuning in, for hanging out with us. Yeah. We'll be back. I think we're going to try to do something next week from Bill Graham during the day. I'm in between Bill Graham 1 and 2, and we'll be back doing this soon enough. We're going to try to do it, like I said at the beginning, as many times as we can around these Phish webcasts. So tweet at us at OsirisPod, hashtag CouchReport. Let us know what you think. Let us know if you have ideas for things to do and things you want us to talk about. And we'll talk to y'all soon. Thanks again to Relix and to Jonathan for making this happen. We'll see y'all soon. Enjoy the second set.
Take it easy.
Bye.